the risk of corruption. And we all know that corruption undermines the development of any society, as well as public trust in government. This speaks volume that we need to bring to the front burner issues that had to do with corruption. So as I've earlier said, this dialogue is timely, especially that Kano State has been in the forefront in fighting corruption, being the first state to establish its Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission aside from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. So we are already there, and inshallah we need to do more. So I believe this dialogue will give an avenue to bring to the fore salient issues that had to do with corruption. And for us, on behalf of all working journalists in Kano State, I wish to assure you that we are always ready to give our best in things that have to do with wholesome activities, including corruption. I wish you everything pleasant. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Malam Abbas Ibrahim, the President, NUJ Kano State. Our Comrade Abbas Ibrahim, sorry. Can we take Hajia Halima again for just 30 seconds? Because we are live. Our mother, a co-chair, you need to be heard. What you did was off air, so it was off record. No.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. Mine is very simple. It's to give an opening remarks. And why are we here? We are here to tell ourselves the truth. I am the past civil society co-chair, while Honorable Barrister Muima Gajingado was then the government co-chair. And we started doing a lot of work in Kano around the 6 thematic areas that we have in Kano. We have anti-corruption, we have physical transparency, we have access to justice, access to information, citizens engagement, and service delivery. And a lot of work was ongoing. But sadly, there is a break, and you don't even hear about OGP. Now, the essence of this dialogue is to revive OGP. But for us to move OGP forward, we need to have this dialogue where we will tell ourselves the truth, the honest truth, whether we like it or not. What are our challenges in terms of anti-corruption in Kano? What is happening in Kano in terms of corruption? How do we fight back the corruption? How do we bring back the lost glory of Kano State? Now, to be very honest with you, Barrister Honorable Muima Gajingado is sitting on a hot seat because all of us are expected to ask questions. We cannot live here without questions. We ask questions, we get answers, and we move forward, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, our able co-chair. I want to call on a member of the steering committee, Muhammad Yahya, to just give us the objective of this dialogue, what we intend to achieve.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Yahya, a member of Dormant OGP in Kano State. So, I have a reason of saying Dormant OGP. So the executive chairman of Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Kano State, Barrister Muhyi Magajiri Mengado, the secretary legal advisor of the commission, Barrister Salisu Tahir, all members of High Table, and my colleagues in civil society, you are highly welcome. The main objective of this occasion is to X-ray the imperative of anti-corruption investigation in Kano State. That is number one. How the commission or the activities of anti-corruption investigation is state in the Kano State is before and now. The second objective is to build the capacity of the participant on strengthening the anti-corruption campaign, anti-corruption fighting and accountability in Kano State. Then lastly, to understand the legal perspective of anti-corruption in Kano State. That is three objectives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are delving into the program right now because we want to listen to our first speaker for this dialogue. This will give us an opportunity to listen and jot our points, then ask questions. So I want to call on Dr. Abdusalam Kani, who is a member of the Kano State Steering Committee and Executive Director, Fiscal Discipline and Development Advocacy Center, FIDA. And an academician, is a lecturer with the new university, Sada Turini University, a conglomerate. Okay, you can.
Well, we started behind schedule, so I'm standing on the existing protocol. And when you look at the agenda, my responsibility today is to X-ray the imperative of anti-corruption investigation in any society. So I'm starting by saying evidences have indicated that two major factors are responsible why corruption is a norm, is endemic in our country. Factor number one is lack of proper investigation, because when an investigation is undertaken, that will deter others from perpetrating illegalities, mismanagement, embezzlement of public resources. That is number one. Second factor, which is unfortunate, is a society that is openly tolerant of those who are indulging in corruption. These are the two major factors responsible why corruption is persistently going on in our country. In 2019 alone, a research undertaken by the United Nations Office of Drug and Crime revealed that over 675 billion were offered as bribe in Nigeria. So when you look at it, you can simply see that corruption is endemic, not because we are lacking the institutional capacity. What is needed in Nigeria is not an institution, because we have so many institutions such as anti-corruption commission that we have in Kano State. But unfortunately, we are lacking the political will, we are lacking the societal enlightenment, support, insistence on accountability and good governance. Secondly, when you look at the major components of my presentation is why is it imperative, why is it important to undertake an investigation related to alleged corruptions in a country. Factor number one, it is important, it is imperative to undertake an investigation so that public officials interested with public resources will be deterred from committing or embezzling the resources. That is factor number one. Factor number two, when investigation is undertaken in a state like Kano State, you are impliedly, by extension, you are restoring public trust and confidence of government. Failure of any government to undertake investigation, especially on issues related to corruption, is a symptom of bad governance, is a symptom of failure of leadership, is a symptom that the society is not ready to move forward. Another factor, when investigation is undertaken as a public official, that will instill discipline in you as a leader. That will instill prudence, utilization, judicious management of public resources. This is why it is extremely important to support Kano State government, in particular Kano State Anti-Corruption Commission, in undertaking any investigation, any alleged mismanagement of public resources in Kano State. We are willing, as civil society, as members of the academia, as community champions, as experts in our respective area of speciality, to ensure that justice is done in Kano State. And the failure of anti-corruption to do the needful, you need to know that posterity is going to judge any one of us. Kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyati. Another factor that I'm going to mention is when an investigation is undertaken, that will assist in ensuring proper allocation, management, and spending of resources in a state like Kano State. 2 days or 3 days ago, a former commissioner is presently under investigation to the tune of 1 billion naira in Kano State. And that amount, had it been, if 1 billion naira is to be channeled to education, to health, to entrepreneurship skills and development, we are going to see significant changes in Kano State. But unfortunately, few number of persons are diverting what belongs to over 20 million citizens or individuals in a state. Now, permit me to make a little digression on the subject matter. I believe some of the audience might be willing to know what is the view of Abdusalam Kani as a member of OGP, or what is the stand of OGP on the alleged video clip of the former governor in Kano State. if I could remember precisely, in 2018, Daily Nigerian published series of video clips in which our former governor is alleged to be collecting bribe in Kano State. Similarly, in June 2018, according to a report by Sahara Reporters, it was reported that Kano State Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Commission has started investigating the so-called video clips involving our governor in Kano State. So permit me to ask a question on our behalf. Mr. Chairman, sir, I just want to ask one pertinent question. According to Sahara Reporters, in June 2018, it was learned that your Kano State Public Anti-Corruption Commission, under your watch, has started investigating the video clips. Maybe in your remarks, I want you to shed light. Is it true that you have started the investigation back in 2018? That is number one. Number two, according to same Sahara Reporters, it was revealed that Kano Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Commission has employed experts in forensic to start investigating the video clip. So I would like to know your view on that particular issue, because I could remember when the issue is circulating, when the pressure was so much on EFCC, the then chairman Ibrahim Magu was quoted to have said Kano State Governor is still serving and constitutionally he has immunity. And right now, as I'm talking, he is an ordinary citizen like any one of us. So the commission has no any excuse to give citizens in Kano State. He is an ordinary citizen. You are now covered by Constitution. He has no any immunity. So we are expecting you to expeditiously ensure that this particular issue is investigated to our own advantage, because your failure to do so, one, we are tarnishing the image of Kano State. Those of us who are going, I could remember I was in India by then when the video started circulation. We were subject of ridicule. We were so much castigated all over the country. So your inability to ensure proper investigation, you are not only tarnishing the image of Kano State, by extension, you are sending our investors away. Because from economic standpoint, investment externally, internally is only going to be possible in a corrupt free society. Finally, I just want to give some few words to the Commission while ensuring you of our total solidarity, our total commitment, our readiness to be a partner in whatever will develop Kano State, because Kano is our Jerusalem. But Mr. Chairman, ensure that whatever you are going to do, you are guided by the law. Mr. Chairman, sir, ensure whatever you are going to do as a chairman of Kano State Anti-Corruption Agency, whatever you are going to do, ensure, one, you are guided by the law. Number two, ensure due diligence, transparency, accountability. For instance, you can take this particular video clip to Bayero University, Kano. There are so many experts in forensic. It can be undertaken live so that each citizen of Kano State will have benefit of doubt as to whether it was a clone or not. And Alhamdulillah, the former commissioner of information, just 2 days ago, he said the former governor is not afraid of any investigation. So you are ready to go on. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, ensure total impartiality. Because as OGP, immediately after you are on tenure, we are also ready to partner any organization that is willing to investigate your office. Ensure impartiality, due diligence in the interest of Kano State, because Kano is our Jerusalem. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Abdusalam Kani. Welcome back from India. We are taking multimedia right now. You need mic? Yeah. Okay. Okay, they will come later. Are you there? Sadiq, you are ready? Okay, go ahead. Mohammed, make it name. Make it name. Mohammed, yeah. Can I the she a chicken oven? I will send it to you. Huh? Yes, go ahead, please. Come on, win. Multimedia, go ahead.
As I said in the beginning, back in 2018, this is one of the household video everywhere in Kano State. Wallahi, to be honest and candid, I was in India by then. I saw the video trending. Those who were from neighboring state, they started tarnishing the image of Kano State as a center of commerce, where we have respected Islamic scholars, where we have renowned professors, scholars in whatever endeavor, to mention but a few. So as I said in the beginning, this particular public dialogue is devoid of any political sentiment, is devoid of any party affiliation. You can see, I doubt if you can see any person having any symbol of any political party. And that is why I'm standing here, one, as a member of Open Government Partnership. Secondly, I'm standing as Executive Director, Fiscal. I'm standing, please, one house, your attention, please. Listen, I'm standing as a member of academia, and as you might be aware, in academia, our responsibilities are as follows. One, we are expected to undertake research. That is number one. Number two is to go to our lecture theater to impart knowledge. And thirdly is to embark on what we call community service. And what I'm standing here doing is part of community service. But please, let us note that our former governor is still and is presumed to be innocent until and unless he is proven otherwise. And that is why it is the responsibility of Kano Anti-Corruption Commission to undertake proper investigation. And I was delighted yesterday. I listened to one of the speeches of the chairman of the commission that he is ready to partner experts in different endeavor to ensure impartial investigation of what has happened in Kano State. And Alhamdulillah, the former governor is ready. His former commissioner has spoken on his behalf that he has no any issue as far as this series of video clips are concerned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your government remains silent about the corruption allegations against the governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje. And why have we even seen you standing next to him at the rally?
I don't know how much technology you use, but can there be say to trust somebody to get the money to him? He has to take it directly without smiling. I honestly am completely overwhelmed, and the system has given me some relief. It is in the court, it is in the state assembly, so let us as much as possible deal with it. But kind of this thing has received a lot of publicity. And I hope by the time I go on my campaign for re-election, there will be some answers from the court or the state assembly in Kano State.
Mr. Dick.
I will defend myself from that. I haven't gone to Kano yet.
Please.
I have just
Okay, thank you very much. We are looking for. We'll wait for you to draw your questions while we call on Malam Ibrahim Garba Mariam, Sheikh IG Mariam, to speak on strengthening transparency and accountability in public service. Well, we have to tame him to give him just 3 minutes. I hope you can summarize in 3 minutes. I know you are a data bank. That's the problem. So that's why we say 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Jama'a assalamu alaikum. All protocol duly observed. I'm not so keen about this video of Ganduje stocking dollar in his pocket. I'm not so keen about this video of dollar. What I'm so keen about is how we will work out and prosecute him. That is one of the major, if not we will keep on seeing this video, which is not going to earn us anything in our state. There are more money in hands circulating than this video. For instance, we have 47 billion naira for water project. We are still scouting for water. We don't have water in Kano. We have 1.9 billion naira has been taken over by his brother, Hussein Ganduje. It's inside the audited report. You don't even know how he used the 1.9 billion naira. According to our budget releases, We had 100 million naira was given for security vote. He ended up spending 1.4 billion naira on what? Even Zamfara, they did not spend 1.4 billion naira in terms of security. Now let us go back. We have Kano State Health Trust Fund. Over 1.2 billion naira has been released to them. From the 1% statutory allocation and 5% IGR. Why is the money for? People are still dying of maternal mortality. We have 5% from that money in it. All these things, we want them to be investigated. We don't want an investigator why we'll come at, when we finish all this investigation, we'll come and apply for plea bargaining. We have all seen what happened to the Accountant General. So the plea bargaining issue is there. We can make an arrangement of plea bargaining. But what we need is, how can we change to have our own livelihood? That matters here. And I would like to tell us that we are here today. There are things that are going to strengthen accountability and transparency in Kano. One, we don't have logbook access in Kano State. We don't have the logbook access, and I want Barrister to take note of those things I'm going to list. We want them to implement the Freedom of Information Act in Kano State. Because without information, you are nowhere. You are working in the dark. We want to see that the types of corruption, let us understand. Corruption is not about the top. Even the identities, some of them, they are corrupt. It's not about going to the top. Because when going to the top, there are many things that are happening. We also ask MUI to strengthen the access to justice. Many people are in prison today without access to judiciary funds. Many people those are the things we need to focus on to make sure that his second coming, because Shalama said second coming is the best. It's the best than the first time. This is his second coming. So we want us to be able to see that, let us create an impact to our people to see the changes in reality. Not in whereby we can just be making on social media and other issues. We also want us to know to set back a strong committee on access of justice. We are now here in the corruption room. So what about we promise that there will be corruption fighting officers in all of the MDS. Let him start making that one to be reliable, to be physically we can be able to see it. Because we just heard that he just arrested a commissioner because of 1 billion naira. If those functions are there, if those agents of fighting the corruption are there, 1 billion naira cannot just work out just like that. You understand? We also want us. There are a lot of school scandals in our health institutions. Sexual abuse, sexual harassment is going on. We are all hearing that in the media. What is MUI going to do? Please, we want him to come and tell us how he's going to fight all these things. If not, to be sincere with you, we'll come back in this place and we are going to tell him the fact and we are going to tell him the truth about it. That is what concerns the people of Kano. It's not about this video you are talking of. How much is the cost of the money here? It's not even up to 10 billion naira. But look, what about the 47 billion naira on water? Do you all have water in our homes? We don't have. We are buying water. This is we need to talk on issues that will affect you and me, not issues that will affect only the top. And let me advise Barrister MUI. We, civil society, we don't have friends. Let me tell you that anybody who do wrong, we are going to come here and tell you he's wrong. We don't have friends. Ba mu da sirikai. Duk abin da mutum yayi zamu zo nan zamu fade shi. Kuma zamu ba da hujja ka tu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqun. Duk abin da muka zo da su wallahi zamu zo muku da hujja. The current dispensation, you should know that OGP is a platform whereby transparency and accountability, access to justice works. Thank you very much.
Thank you, IG Mariam. Ya yi wata magana, ko da ciyaman, mu abokan ciyaman ne, ciyaman ma wata ran za mu sake bincika shi, kuma za mu faɗa mashi abin da ya yi. hot seat ne, we are friends today, tomorrow you may consider us as enemies. Idan abun bai yi maka dadi ba. But you are lucky, kai reincarnating, so know that yanda ake magana wasu, gobe magana ka za yi. So it's just, if you have a friend here, kana gani, anyway, you have seen it. So ba wai sabo bane a wajenka, so you're going to see it again. So Allah ya ba mu ikon yin daidai. So this is a question and answer session. Would like to take questions and answer. Haja Halima will coordinate that. And the rule says you will come here, introduce yourself, ask your questions, and they will respond to it. Thank you very much.
I am the chair.
Okay.
I determine who speak. But we are in democracy. And I think, Dr. Kagi, you have asked Honorable Chairman some questions. Maybe before we start taking, let us give him maybe 2-3 minutes for him to quickly answer those questions so that we can take from the floor. So, Mr. Chairman, sir, Dr. Kagi has, no, we'll bring this to you.
No, let him come here.
Okay, go.
Yes,
We have more questions.
let him respond to the speaker's questions. Then say he dobe wajen hajji. Karshen da
Quickly, I want to stand on the existing protocol. I thank all of us here for sparing time to come and raise this occasion. And this is a welcome back party to me, organized by OGP, to let me know that at least my immediate constituency after the bar is still behind me to fight corruption in Kano State. Secondly, I want to assure everybody here that at least everybody who is fair enough in judgment or in assessing people will know that I am passionate in what I am doing today. And perhaps that is the whole genesis that make it possible to make a comeback, make it possible for me to make a comeback to this place after my 2-year sabbatical and with all what happened. Secondly, like what I said yesterday, there was never a time that I have a parley with media or any other group of people without the issue that Dr. Kane mentioned in his paper popping up, as if I am the person that is depicted in the video or in any other things related to corruption in Kano State. But I thank God, it is my stance against corruption that earned me that criticism, I may say. But to answer your question, it is true, like what Sahara reporter says, that we were investigating the matter then, before I was suspended. And immediately when I was reinstated, the press asked me again about it, and I told them again. There was a time I was having a media chat with Trust TV. The reporter again asked me about it. But I can assure you that we will do whatever it takes to bring this issue behind us. Like what he rightly said, it is something that is giving Kano bad name, and that is why I'm so determined to investigate this matter. And like what you rightly said, it is true that we have a forensic arrangement with a forensic expert, one of whom was here because I believe some of the people that help us in what we are doing in terms of fighting against corruption in Kano State all grace this occasion. But we will do whatever it takes to investigate that matter and all matters related or incidental to fighting corruption in Kano State. You made mention of, I think it's IG Mariam that made mention of the issue of 1 billion naira. Yes, it is not the lack of the people in, like what you said, Hadibin, we have people that will checkmate the excesses of corrupt practices in the MBS. I think we have anti-corruption and transparency unit. Legal advisor, I think we have anti-corruption and transparency unit in the MBS. I don't know when I left whether you are not utilizing them. We have them, and we have Actors Club as well in schools. But what is lacking is the political will, as he said. Because when you fight corruption, at least some people will term you as enemies. And that is why, if you look at what happened in this case, in this particular case, this is a singular individual that wrote an instruction for his subordinate to release 1 billion naira to bogus companies. 1 billion naira. And as I'm talking to you now, I have a case of well over 100 billion naira in Kano. Well over 100 billion naira. And there are loans that was received in hard currencies. And all these loans were nowhere to be found. We have to look into it. So we will not rest on our horse to make sure that we do the needful. And like you rightly said, Dr. Kane, we will do whatever it takes to do what is necessary. I can assure you that based on the report of forensic experts, they told me that the video clip in question was not doctored. They told me that the video clip was not voice over. I think we have jurisdiction to look into this matter. I'm just revealing to you. Everybody, many people have been asking me. We are doing our best. Please bear with us. We will do what is needful and we will do what is necessary in the near future. Inshallah, we will put this at our back. I think I have answered your question. Thank you very much.
Now we have less than 15 minutes. To Bangamata, I didn't see women raising their hands, so I have to go with the men. I don't have an option. So can we have the last two? Can you quickly come forward? But please, but no long grammar. Just short. If you start giving long drama, I will just take the microphone from you. You know I'm the chair. So you go directly to your question, you ask your question, and we move to the next person. Please, no long grammar, please. Yeah, I know that's quick questions, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adam Dakata. I am from Center for Awareness on Justice and Accountability, Kaja. My question to the chairman is that I want the chairman to please shed the citizens of Kano more light about the activities of this institute. This is Kano State Anti-Corruption Institute. Most of the youth who are supposed to be fighting corruption in Kano State doesn't know the function and who can use this, or who can come to this institution in order to benefit from what it is offering. Now, secondly, I want the chairman to not only talk about the former Kano State governor now being seen putting money in his pocket, but also look at other sectors. We have issues like the one currently going on in Kano State, in Kano State School of Health Technology, the allegations of money laundering or fraud in the Kano State Road and Traffic Agency, Karota, and the rest of them. Thank you.
Question. It's not just asking for dollar, but other things that, like the examples he gave. And I think, Honorable Chairman, it's important to take note of that.
Jama'a assalamu alaikum. Sunana Umar Ibrahim Umar, Executive Director na Kungiyar Against Injustice. Tambaya ta ga Executive Chairman shine wani tabbaci zai ba mu a wannan gargashin shugabancin nasa da wannan OGP din na goyon bayan yaki da cin hanci da rashawa. Domin a baya lokacin tsohon gwamnan jihar Kano Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje ya saka an kama mu da shi da kwamishina na ma'aikata ayyuka da cigaban al'umma da kuma SA na wannan ma'aikatar an sa an kama mu ana yi mana barazana. So muna so mu samu wani tabbaci za a baya kuma mun aika da korafi gargashin wannan hukumar akan irin take mana haƙoƙinmu da aka yi, hana mu bayanai da aka wanda duk yana ƙarƙashin cikin wannan dokar ƙarƙashin jagorancin barista Mahmud Balarabi ba abin da aka ɗauka kai mun ƙara aika ba abin da aka ɗauka kai to wannan wani tabbaci zai bamu wajen goyon bayan cin hanci da rashawa da wannan fafutukar da muke da wajen hukumomin da suke hana mu bayanai sannan kuma a game da ayyukan mazaɓu na 'yan majalisar dokokin jihar Kano don muna samun matsala da su. Jama'a assalamu alaikum.
Barin zo nan ga yata. I want to say. So quickly, by long grammar. Yes. Good afternoon, all members of the high table. I would like to have 5 short questions to the chairman. Honestly, I'm happy. Your name? The able. Your name? My names are Barrister Aisha Alitijani, a lecturer from Aminu Kano College of Islamic and Civil Legal Education, and also a member of the Kano Civil Society Forum. Thank you. Sorry for skipping that. I would like to, first of all, thank Allah for regaining the seat of Barrister Muhimma Gaju. For him, once again, we knew him to be diligent, dedicated, determined, and he's a man of the work. We trust him for that. But my questions are as follows. They're very short. Just a yes or no answer. Are we invited here in this one-day public dialogue just to discuss on the issue of Ganduja corruption? This is my first question. Secondly, is it the only corruption that has been done during your administration that is worth even talking about now? How about others? Are they forgiven or are they... Nobody is intended to look after them. Thirdly, I hope, Barrister Muhimma Gaju, with the confidence I restore in you, we are not here to help you buy trust in the NFPP government. I hope. Thirdly, and I hope, we are not here to help you take revenge on the former administration. I hope. And I want to restore that confidence. The fifth question is, are you sure you're not dragging CSOs and members of the Kano Civil Society Forum into the political mud or political garbage? That's my last question. Thank you for that. Do you want to take the 3 or can I answer the 3?
Let's start.
Now, the last 3 that I touched because this is a gathering that was initiated by OGP Kano. And we had to do it in collaboration with Kano Anti-Corruption Institute. So we are not helping him or we are not supporting him in terms of NPP. But for us as Kano Civil Society, as steering committee members of Kano OGP, we want to move OGP. Kano was second to sign into OGP, but they don't even hear about OGP Kano even at the global level. And we want to restore that glory, and that is why we are doing this. Thank you for making that clarification.
Thank you very much. Let me start with the issue of health technology. The issue of the institute, I think the provost is here. He will answer the question. But the issue of health technology, any investigation in relation to any corrupt practices in Kano is welcome here in this commission. Now, the second speaker made mention of the commissioner that called for their arrest. I think that commissioner too is now under detention, so I don't think, at least Kamba has catch up with him. Lastly, the issue of my senior colleague here. I think Hajia Halima has intervened, but I would have liked to answer you. I am a guest here as well. And secondly, anybody that knows me, he knows me very well. I am a lone ranger. And that is why when things were going very well during the last administration, I will have to be suspended. When I was suspended without any valid reason, you are a lawyer. And we have piled and pursued series of court cases which we have won. So I don't need anybody to help me buy relevance in this government. And I don't need anybody to give me relevance in anything. My records are there to work with me, to speak for me. You passed through assets we confiscated. This is my 7th day here. And we have series of these meetings during the last administration too. I believe members of the civil society have testified to this. I can't remember the time we had it here outside the state or what have you. So now, I don't see it as insolent of what you said, but I know you are a lawyer, you are critical, you can say what you said, but I find it a bit offending. Honestly speaking, I don't need anybody to support me, and I will not call you to come and support me. We were able to recover properties worth 200 billion naira by my coming back here. My sabbatical was about 2 years. They have never recovered 1/3 of this money, of this asset, throughout that 2 years of my sabbatical. So, Barrister, please shed your sword. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, may I stand on the established protocol? Kano Anti-Corruption Institute is the training arm of the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission. It was an idea mooted by the chairman, and it scaled through, and the institute was established. Prior to the establishment of the institute, staff members of the commission and any other civil servant requiring training on anti-corruption, the state government had to pay huge sums of money to EFCC or ICPC Academy for prudence purposes and in order to harness the resources, human and material. The Kano State government deemed it necessary to establish the institute. Like the commission, it was the first subnational anti-corruption institute meant to train the staff of the commission and any other civil servant from ministries, departments, and agencies in Kano State, firstly, and then by extension, any other body requiring training in anti-corruption. We are welcoming them, and during our short tenure, when he left, we were able to conduct some trainings for the members of the judiciary. And part of the topics that we taught and deemed it necessary to train the judicial staff is the issue of accountability and breach of trust by public servants and the role of court staff in fighting corruption in the judiciary. It is a record that there are shameful theft of litigants' money in some courts by some officials, and it is recurring, and we deem it necessary to put a stop in order to remind court staff that there is a burden of trust on them to ensure that the judiciary answers its name as the last hope of common man, where your life and your property are protected by the court and by the court staff. So this institute is the only state institute for anti-corruption, and happily other states are keying in and trying to establish a similar institute for the purposes of training the states, civil servants, and the citizens, and any other party or person interested in training. Thank you very much. Sorry, and it is not only training, organizing workshops, road shows, campaigns, and many other reorientation programs are part and parcel of the mandate of the Institute. Thank you.
I want to be a devil advocate for the people that ask questions. Can they see you after this program, please, so that if there are issues, you can also help. So, Mala Hassan, the Allah sharp.
One sentence. Assalamu alaikum. Once again, my name is Hassan Yaro from the Civil Society Organization. I have 3 points to talk on. The first two are comments. The last one is a question to the anti-corruption body. The first one is
as citizens, sorry, it's a comment, it's a very relevant comment. How best can we safeguard against conflict of interest? A governor, a deputy governor, house speaker, somebody who sells land or gives contract to himself. How can we work to stop this? I think we should do it. Secondly, we have roles and responsibilities as citizens, citizens groups and advocates to drive for direction against public land theft, public misappropriation, and what have you. How best can we, from the civil society space and from the general public, especially the youth, drive for change? Thirdly, is an answer. All rumors have elements of truth. How is it true, I'm asking Honorable Mui, that all monies deducted from pensioners and civil servants over the past months were deducted into personal accounts? If that is true, what is the anti-corruption body doing about it? And how best can we work with you to unearth all the bad dealings of the past? I'm not talking about only this government, but how can we work to strengthen things? Thank you.
So thank you so much. Okay, you want to respond?
You can sit. You can go and sit.
Let me respond.
Let me quickly respond, because first of all, I will again apologize to my colleague. You know, I have passed series of tests. When I was suspended, I will just give you an information, just a kind of information that perhaps many people didn't know. And I'm a human being. Sometimes I might be a bit vulnerable, but I don't mean to criticize what you said. And I'm a public servant. I'm entitled to be criticized. But when I was suspended simply because I did not accept the posting of a staff. Well, under Section 15 of the law that establishes the Commission empowers the Commission to do that. And under Section 8, the law says the Commission shall not be subjected to the direction and control of any authority. But the idea here is that it was the corruption that was fighting back. And throughout that time, I was arrested, detained, humiliated. And of all that, I was only charged with making false information through my lawyer. The lawyer is here. Through my lawyer. You are a lawyer, you know. At least. Had it been I want to justify a case through my lawyer, it is a hearsay evidence. But under their own term, I was guilty of doing something wrong, simply because they were trying to catch up with me. You remember that a committee to investigate me was appointed by Assembly, series of committees, and I was reported to police. I was detained several times. Of all that, nothing was found against me. I'm not a saint, but I am proud of myself that at least I don't want to spare. Now, that is why when you said revenge, that is perhaps what informed my reason. But I want to assure you today, the person they sent to my house to tear off my clothes is still working in that commission. Nobody, I didn't send anybody back. The person that sent to the director that was in my house was alleged to have shot gun outside my house, was still my director, and he was calling me to say, sir, I am not against anybody doing his job. I know they are doing their job. Please, if I said anything wrong to you, I'm sorry. Secondly, like my Oga said, how best we can go against, or rather we can ensure that there's no conflict of interest. It is only, you know, that is why when anybody that's taking office, he has to subscribe to oath of office, because we all, in some cases, we all are selfish. But it is only when we now believe that this country belongs to us, and it is we that will come and make the country better, that is when we will now avoid conflict of interest. Because you are a public servant, we are all privileged to be here. Many people are more intelligent, more dedicated than we are. But we are privileged to be where we are. And that is why we should not allow our personal interest to influence our official conduct. Yes. Secondly, the driver for change is this type of thing. Anybody that knows me, I encourage all this type of engagement because it is what brings people together, share ideas, and do what they supposed to, what they can do within their own limitation to help drive change. So I believe everybody is a stakeholder in the Nigerian project, and we have a responsibility to make this country great. Money deducted from pensioners is true. They have been deducting money through so many means. And I know one of a case that which the commission recovered some money that was deducted through certain consultancy. I was able to investigate a case whereby somebody who is working in CAS, Kano State College of Remedial Studies, was collecting pension. And he did, unfortunately, he didn't even know. It was the investigation commission of the commission that even alerted him. Somebody was using his account, his BBN, to siphon money. And this is not the only one account. We will recover some money out of that. And the commission was to stop its investigation midway because of the personalities involved. I think that is where we stop. If you need more explanation, you meet me in the office. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yes.
My name is Firdausi Muhammad. I am the Executive Director for Healthcare Intervention for Victims of Gender-Based Violence Initiative. My question to the chairman is, how do you plan to engage with marginalized groups such as women and girls who are particularly vulnerable to corruption? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We as a disability, how do we work with our agency for fighting corruption among the disability sectors? Number two, Mr. Minister, I want you to investigate our former SSA for how to handle the percentage of persons with disability for employment, which last government has given. That is my question.
Okay. The name is, I have two names, Hassan Ibrahim Gama and Masis First. The question is, when I came to this place, I was trying to find out what is there for the masses. What we have been discussing. Where is, how can masses be benefited from what we have been discussing? And I discovered that the whole thing that we have been discussing is very important. But there is one thing that the commission, yes, there is one thing that the commission has been doing before. And I'm sure the masses are very happy with that. If the commission can continue with that objective. I can remember that the other time that the commission has been functioning, there is this fighting corruption for those food markets, those that are fighting corruption in terms of food pricing, whereby at that time the masses were very happy when the commission started fighting for those people that are in the market that are hiking prices. And I do hope now that still the commission will continue with that so that we will have a control on food price. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please, straight to the question, because if you take too long talking, then other people will not have the opportunity. So please, just question.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ibrahim Ahmad Gasma, the ED, Kano Central International School. My question is, how can the Anti-Corruption Commission channel investigations of corrupt practices from Kano State private and public schools in ensuring fair transparency of activities? Thank you.
Good question, good question. Good question. Thank you so much for that question. Question, sharp.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good afternoon. Well, we know what happened. Okay, my name is Wali Adorano from Voice of the Hopeful Enlightenment and Development Initiative. Previous administration managed local government with no concern about the citizens. The system, the way they, in fact, looted the money, the local government money, was so wise because they put the money in their account and asked them to return the money in cash after after managing the due process on paper. So please, what the major looting in Kano State was through Ministry for Local Government. And so what anti-corruption can do, please, to make proper investigation and return the money back to the local governments, where we are having a serious problem in terms of poverty, education. The question is, how can they investigate the way they looted local government money?
Thank you.
And I believe what...
Less than 10 minutes.
Talk, madam. Assalamu alaikum.
Say Muhammad. Allah, just straight to the Allah. If you come and you are not asking questions, you start giving drama, I'll just take the microphone from you because I am the chair. Yes, I'm the chair.
Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Chairman, sir, I remain Mohammed, I am a member of OGP, Anti-Corruption Thematic Lead. Mr. Chairman, sir, we from the rural areas, there is a lot of series or one-time bomb that we are standing on now. The trespassing of grazing lands. The previous government, under the leadership of the chairman of the local governments, they have scattered all the grazing lands. And all the herdmen in Kano State, they are the indigenous herdmen. They have nowhere to go. And the law of the grazing land said that only the executive council that will give the approval of changing the status of grazing land in the Kano State. And the only two local governments that have that approval, the one of Kiru and the Wudil local government. But my question is that, sir, the Ministry of Agric now are not giving you the compliance to submit the document of agricultural land, grazing land plan of Kano State to your commission. We have been asking them, we wrote a petition, they are not giving all the necessary documents that you are looking for. So we want you to intervene quickly to solve this problem. Thank you.
Please, Allah, no long grammar. Just ask your question.
My name is Abdul Kanisa, and I'm the president of Law Student Association of Nigeria Biodiversity Chapter. I must express my appreciation to the chairman in particular for being one of the good members of the committee who is now represented very good debate of poverty in the outside world. Mr. Chairman, sir, my question is, we've been part of this profession which the larger public used to throw questions to us as why the commission is paying much attention to the governor on the issue of this allegation, while throughout the 8-year term of his administration, his wife seems to be the engine box that has been driving and perpetrating a lot of corrupt activities, which no any action seems to be taken by the commission in respect of all the allegations about the wife of the governor. So I would like to hear, and the members of the public, from the chairman, some of the preparations they are putting in place in terms of engaging the wife of the governor, which used to be perpetrating a lot of corrupt practices throughout his period in office. And secondly, Mr. Chairman, I would like to also hear from you your commitment as regards to conflicting information you have been getting in terms of land matters in Kano State. The administration, the previous administration has done a lot of corrupt activities regarding land matters, and the Kano State citizens are very much interested in these land matters, and there are a lot of frauds that are involved in these land matters. Mr. Chairman, I would like you to highlight.
I am the chair. Thank you so much. And to be honest, I didn't want us to get into this because there are some people, the other people have taken your time. And unfortunately, we have only 5 minutes.
Well, I will respond on the issue of marginalized group. I think the PWD people will testify to that. When we are remodeling the commission, I made some promises which I fulfilled. I think our office is the only PWD compliant office in Kano State as it stands today. Inshallah, we will do whatever it takes, what we have been doing, in order to include the vulnerable groups in whatever we are doing to ensure that everybody have a say in the work of this commission. He made a complaint about one of their leaders, which inshallah will look into it. Then the Kano State, from the private institution, I see somebody asked about the private institution. The law has covered it all, and we are covering virtually every aspect of society. That is what makes us Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission. The public complaint aspect empowered us to do and to look into other private issues which we are dealing with on daily basis. Somebody made mention of the local government fund, and I think I made mention rhetorically of 100 billion case. So inshallah, we are going to recover that fund. What happens was that some people recklessly and with impunity take money, just like the issue of 1 billion naira, take money from the account of the government, the local government, put in their private account, staff, and then transfer it to somebody who will give them cash. All this money, if you take it, cumulatively is well over 100 billion. We are working on that as well. Then the last issue, if I can remember, is an issue, the food issue. Well, that one, inshallah, will continue to do it. That's one which I failed to judge. I think, trespassing or grazing land. That is a potential time bomb in Kano State. About 60 to 70% of the grazing land and cattle routes has been blocked by selfish individuals. We are working tirelessly on that case. We have opened an investigation activities into that. And like he rightly said, we have got a reply from the Ministry of Agriculture. By law and in the eyes of law, that place, even when encouraged, it still remains the grazing land. And we will do what is needful, inshallah. Somebody made mention of the wife of the governor. I know. That is why I'm very skeptical, so that somebody will not come and start accusing me of being vindictive to somebody. But certainly, I'm not referring to you. I know. At least I am one time a vice chairman of a local government. So I know how people think. Whenever you are fighting corruption, people always find a way to say one thing or the other. So that is why sometimes you will just go directly. Even when I made mention of the issue of video scandal, nowhere I have traveled, including United States of America, in New York, somebody made mention of this video allegation. I think it's high time for us to say something and put it at the back. I appreciate Dr. Kane for bringing the issue of video here, because at least it's not everybody that will be, we will not presume that everybody is even aware of the issue of video. But saying that people might even know that there is an allegation of video that somebody who's supposed to be the leader of us all was alleged to have been collecting money. And I think it is within the appropriate jurisdiction of this commission to look into that matter and do what is necessary. And that is why whosoever wanting in corrupt practice, inshallah, this commission will not rest. We will investigate what we are doing. Somebody will say I'm biased. Yes, we are investigators and prosecutors. So certainly prosecutors are biased. When we go to court, then the judge will determine what is right and what is wrong. Thank you very much.
Quickly. One burning question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Mukhtar Asad from Kompasia Twitter Guild. I'm a crew from that. My question is, I'm very surprised that nobody has asked the chairman. Regarding the Ganduje Gate, we all know that it is the topmost case that all the people in Kano wanted the commission to investigate. So a few weeks ago, I had the then Commissioner of Information coming to the media to say that Ganduje has went to the court and seek for injunction for him not to be investigated. So I want to ask, how is the commission going to investigate this issue since it has gone to the court? Thank you very much.
Well, the issue was not brought to a halt. Initially, many people criticized me that I did not investigate the video when he was the then governor. The answer I used to give people was that he was having an immunity. So, but not anymore. But let me tell you one thing. I was bold enough, even working under him then, to come out and say we have opened an investigation. And that's what Dr. Kane recalled and quote Sahara Reporter report. So now, now that the immunity was elapsing, what the former governor did was to go to Federal High Court and seek for an injunction. But it was not him per se, it is the Kano State government that sued the EFCC, not Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission, that the EFCC shall not investigate. And I have raised a memo and asked the governor to ask the state government to withdraw that case. And that case will be withdrawn tomorrow. So the issue will continue.
I will still have interaction.
It's rather unfortunate for Jafar to still be in exile. You know, everybody can make allegations. Somebody called me and tell me that I had many houses in Dubai. I said, I give you one. Please go and give me the rest of one. Nobody is immune for criminality. We are all human beings. In Quran, there is a verse which says, we are all vulnerable. That is why we are human beings. We are not infallible. So everybody can make allegations. Like what this my colleague just raised. When my immunity is elapsing, then I now use official, just like what the other speaker said, conflict of interest. Why would you send the Kano State government to go and seek for injunction on your behalf? Why? Why can't you go to the court, just like what I did? When they make an allegation against me, I go to the court, I fought my case, and I won the case. Simple and clear. So you employ the tactics of using the government official apparatus to stop investigation. So now the issue of Jafar, I'm not in the position to say what is to be done. But it's not only Jafar. Somebody said it, and I just deliberately skipped the answer because he said somebody has asked them to arrest him. And I know in Kano there was a time whenever you make an allegation, you will be arrested. And a lot of people have complained on that, but not anymore. When you have an allegation come to the Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission. Even if it's against the Kano State governor, I will accept it, and I will give you protection. Thank you very much.
Another question. What are you going to do about the schools that have been sold?
That is why I now understand why you said I'm in a hot seat, and I appreciate that. But the schools, the hospitals, the courts, only in Kano that we sell courts. Only in Kano. And when we are now investigating, so I want the general public here and outside to understand that we are doing whatever it takes. There are a lot of negative publicity going on. There are a lot of negative publicity going on. But the people of Kano know where to scratch. We know a lot of things happen. A lot of recklessness happens. That is why I have tightened my belt. I am ready for eventualities. And I can assure you that we will not rest. As it stands today, the atmosphere is good. We have political will for us to even organize this, help you to organize this. Because the institute, it talks a lot. And this, I'm always ready. Civil society group, any other people that have something to say. From the day I came to the office up to this day, there was no time that we are not receiving a lot of information about what some people perpetrated against the good people of Kano State. Just like the issue of water, I still have some suspects in the commission now waiting for me on the loan collected to revalidate the issue of water scarcity in Kano in millions of euros. It was upon. We will not rest. We will do whatever it takes to make sure that we do the needful, regardless of whatever somebody might think. We are doing it for the good people of Kano State, and we are passionate about it. So we will do it. We will do it, inshallah, for the betterment of the Kano people in general. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We really want to appreciate, because this thing was initiated yesterday, and he approves, and here we are today. And so we want to thank you so much for your commitment. And then Provost, thank you so much, because it was a shotgun approach and you accepted. Thank you so much. And all of you that came, thank you so much. We really appreciated the participation. If you look at the agenda, the last thing on the agenda, we're still open for interaction after this. So people that have questions and we're not able to say it, the chairman will ask him to give us 5-10 minutes so that people that can ask questions.